Hey guys, living in Japan and spending lots of time on YouTube has brought something to my attention. Well, it brings something to my attention every day, and that's that style of communicating that's become normal, where people have a different opinion from someone else, and how they go about saying that. So some people are really good at it. Some people are really good at it. I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. I think this. And I think you guys would feel the same way as I do. If someone says something like that, you're more inclined to listen to what they say next. So if you give me your opinion on something, and I say, I understand what you're saying, but I disagree. I think this. I think you are more likely to listen to what I say next than if you say something to me and I say to you, you're wrong. That's bullshit. That's nonsense. That's garbage. You don't know what you're talking about. And then give my opinion. If I start with something like, that's nonsense, that's bullshit, that's garbage, you don't know what you're talking about, what a lot of crap. If I start with something like that, how likely are you to listen to what I say next? You know, I think this is something that we need to keep in mind if we're going to express our opinion. I think the problem has become really normal. You know, politicians and, you know, just about anybody now, lots of examples of people that we see on TV all the time, and different people, the way they communicate. It's become a sort of a normal way to communicate. And I'm sure it's not in Japan. It's not the way they communicate here. They don't say you this, you that, you this. They express it like, that's interesting, and then they'll sort of really gently say, you know, what they think. And I'm not saying that's the way we should all do it. I'm just saying that it's interesting to see that that's not always the way people communicate. And I think in our own cultures, in the past, it probably wasn't either, you know. People used to be a lot more diplomatic. I'm sounding like an old man now. But my main point is, if we want people to listen to our opinion, I think we need to be a little bit careful how we express it. Because people shut down. I mean, most people are the same. If someone says to you, oh, that's bullshit, you don't know what you're talking about, that's nonsense, automatically you become defensive. It's very hard if someone says that to us for us then to listen to what they say next, because they've just insulted us. And the other thing is too, I think we should be careful saying that, because we don't know. Just because our opinion is different from that other person's opinion, and we may well feel that what they're saying is bullshit, or it's nonsense, and it's not right, and we might feel that they are wrong, because based on our knowledge, what they're saying is not correct. But saying that to them, I don't think does anything positive at all, and all it does is makes them shut down and less likely to listen to what we say next. I think saying you, when we're having a discussion with someone, the only time, or if we have a different opinion to somebody, I think the only time we should say you is if we're saying, I understand what you are saying. Because other than that, if we're not talking about, we should talk about the topic. So if we're disagreeing about politics or about anything, whatever it is that we're disagreeing with, you know, one of my most frequent topics for this is on my other channel is the Cove video I made, the video about the movie The Cove. And, you know, people watch the first minute and a half of that 7-minute video, and I know this from the statistics, and then they jump on, you're wrong, and you don't know what you're talking about, and that's nonsense, and everything else. Well, whatever the topic is, we should talk about the topic. So if the topic's, you know, a movie or baseball or best country in the world, or you know, whatever it is with our families, something that our families, you know, some family issue or whatever it is we're talking about, we should keep to the topic. Talking about the other person is not the topic. So to say, you know, you are wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, you are crazy, you are this, you are that, well, that person is not the topic of the conversation. You know, the topic is whatever it is. It's homework, or it's sports, or it's you know, which is the best baseball team, or whatever the topic is that we're talking about. That's the topic, and we should stick to the topic. And I think we should remember that, you know, if someone says to us what you're saying is nonsense, or if someone says that, you know, we don't know what we're talking about or something, we know how that feels, and saying it to the other person isn't going to... If the object of our exercise is for them to listen to our opinion, then I think we should express it in a way that they're more likely to listen. Otherwise we're wasting our time, aren't we? Anyway, something to think about.